I've been a part of creative processes for many years for different companies and artists, but a month ago I was awarded my first DYCP funding by Arts Council England, and it's my first opportunity to dedicate time to my own creative process. Welcome to my first official solo creative project as an aerial artist. Okay, so logistics before I go and get all mushy. The funding's for initial R&D for a piece that I imagine to become a full show. It covers studio space, 2 creative mentors, travel costs, my time, rig and bits, and other miscellaneous things that I might need along the process. I am using JD Aerial Fitness Studio in Liverpool, a space that I'm very familiar with. I've taught many classes there before. And this month I have 3 initial research weeks in the studio, Monday through Friday. This is something that I've dreamed of for so long, but I've never fully felt worthy of it or that it was something that I was capable of. So now it's happening, I'm so excited, but I also feel like the years of anticipation has added a bit of pressure to the outcome of this project. As you watch me warm up, I will talk about the subject matter of this project, which is restriction and freedom, the liberation that comes after breaking free from the tethers of others and yourself. What is involved in this journey and how do you get there? I'm starting with the emotions attached to this, so guilt, grief, shame and hope. These are the emotions I felt heaviest during circumstances where I felt constrained by my relationships and the relationship with myself. There's lots of heavy personal experiences within this topic, so I'm being really honest with myself about when I need to break and when I need to counterbalance with lighter, playful things. I've made acts and solos before which cover heavy subject matter and have completely drowned in them, so this time I have my own bands on. I also have 2 amazing mentors, my emotional lifeguards. I have 2 bright orange ropes to explore with. I think they physically represent being bound really well, and I love that they're orange, as orange shouts emotion, creativity, pleasure and joy to me. It's also the first time I've had the opportunity to really explore this apparatus. I'm lucky enough to be working with the wonderful Rachel Strickland, who is an absolute creative dream, and Kalina Suter, who is the queen of emotional expression. I trust them both with my life, and they've already had a huge impact on my development as an artist, like through my career up until this point, so it was a no-brainer when I was deciding who to pick. It's really important to me to find realness in emotional expression, so I've begun exploring that on the floor and letting the emotion move me. This was uncomfortable and intense, but I found it really interesting when I watched it back that each emotion has a different movement quality. Like grief was initiated by my chest, shame had a lot of inward aggression and I kept becoming really small. Guilt was heavy and it was also in the chest, but it came with a lot of like shaking and moving about, like as if I was trying to get rid of it. And then hope felt really gentle and fluid, and it felt like really lovely to move with hope actually. After the heavy emotional work, I've been counterbalancing it with non-emotional things, more creativity, playfulness, exploring, making new material. Here I'm starting with something familiar and then taking it in a different direction again and again and again until I find something that I like. I haven't got anything that's fully cooked yet, but I've got a couple of sequences that I'm excited to develop more. Of course, I'm taking lots of breaks and snacks too when I'm lagging or when I just need like a minute out of the creative space. I had an old habit of just powering through this, and this way that I'm doing now is way more productive and nicer on the body too. Another method I've been playing with is picking a random word from a book and using it to inspire movement. I've not been thrilled by what movements come from this, but I've written a full page of ideas from the words that I picked out, and yeah, these are things that I wouldn't have thought of otherwise, so that's actually worked well for that. I've been doing a lot of writing during this process. There's a lot of personal discoveries coming up like any other creative project, and so I'm making sure I'm getting them out of me onto a page without overanalyzing and overwhelming myself with them. I'm trying to really reground myself during the cool down, because with the heavy emotional work it brings a lot to the surface, so I'm making sure that I'm putting it in a box before I leave the studio so it doesn't come home with me. The only concern is that I might go into an old habit of mine and start changing the idea when it becomes a bit too heavy, and do something that's more of a comfort zone, but I'm really eager to make sure that I keep this really true to what I want to create. Also, as this is only the R&D stage, I'm struggling not to get ahead of myself and imagine how things will look like in a theatre when it's fully complete. So I want to try and keep open to exploring the extremities of this topic without worrying about the final product. But this is something that I always struggle with, so I'm working on it. On the way home, I have a big smile on my face because I'm so grateful for this opportunity and the support to be able to work on my own creation and my own ideas. Of course, I've got all the voices coming up telling me that I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, someone else really used it better. But these are stories that have come up my whole life, so I'm just trying to let them go and not let them sabotage the project in any way. So yeah, that's the first week complete, and I'm excited for where this project will take me. Thank you so much for watching.